Sorry sa voice ko. Okay, so medyo konti pa tayo, no? But I need to start kasi mahaba yung topic natin. Okay? I know you have quiz later at 11 to 12. Meron ba kayong 12 then? Wala naman. Okay, so please keep your notes muna, no? Yung mga ganyang aral, hindi na yan papasok sa mga neurons nyo. Okay, so before I start, any concerns regarding PCOB? Wala naman? Wala? Okay, sige. So my task for today is to talk about antepartum, no, and intrapartum assessment. Okay, when you look at it, as I am discussing, para siyang nag-overlap. Okay, the difference lang is that when you say ante, sabi ko turn off my phone, pero ako nung may unang tawag, sorry. When you say antepartum, ano ibig sabihin nun? Anyone from the group? Antepartum means what? Kasi when you look at later on, you will see na parang pare-pareho lang naman yung dinidiscuss ni Doktora. Which is true, no? Kasi isang gamit, isang tracing yung titingnan nyo. Anyone from the group, any idea what antepartum versus intrapartum is? Ante. Ano ibig sabihin ng ante? Before, di ba? So before labor, syempre technically buntis sila, di ba? But before labor and during labor, no? So that's ante and intrapartum assessment. Okay? It is good to know the condition or the fetal well-being of a baby, no? Especially for patients who are at higher risk, no? So as you can see, ang labor is or pregnancy is physiologic, di ba? May mga patients na okay naman sila sa lying-in sila nagpapa-check up or even sa dati traditional birth attendant, no prenatal check-up, no? Pero of course, it's still helpful and more safe for both the mother and the fetus, no, kapag namomonitor sila, especially for high-risk cases. So antepartum, ang goal niyan is to be able to prevent fetal death and to avoid unnecessary interventions. What do you mean when you say unnecessary interventions? No? Like for example, not all hypertensive patients are absolute indication to do cesarean section. No? So antepartum surveillance can help you look at ito ba kailangan ng CS, immediate delivery, and kahit i-induce mo mukhang hindi mag-respond. And based on the antepartum assessment, you can say na mukhang matatagalan to, and the antepartum assessment or the CTG or cardiotochogram says na pangit na yung fetal well-being. No? So that's the point of this fetal surveillance. No? So antepartum techniques could include CTG, as you can see here, or ultrasound, as you can see here. Okay, so as you can see, nagmumubang natin yung fetal head yung nakikita nyo. Later on, let's talk about that. Okay, so the outline of this lecture on antepartum assessment would include fetal movements and fetal breathing. And the assessment that we're going to do is the non-stress test, contraction stress test, and guided by ultrasound surveillance would include your fetal biometry, biophysical scoring, and Doppler velocimetry. Okay? So, as mamaya baka mapansin nyo parang masyadong highfalutin, no, for at your level. Don't worry, we'll try to guide you, no, one by one. At saka, hindi nyo naman kailangan mag-interpret talaga ng ultrasound, no? It's not at your level. Okay? So, number one that we have to look at will be fetal movements. So, for patients na low risk, physiologic, fetal movement is necessary, okay, to detect possibility of intrauterine fetal death, no? So lahat yan, kasama yan sa 10 danger signals of pregnancy. Any fetal movement abnormalities, which includes a decreased fetal movement or no fetal movement at all, remember that this is kind of subjective, especially sa isang lay person, no? So it's very important that you educate them on fetal movement because fetal movement is equivalent to a good fetal well-being. Okay? Generally. Okay? But not at all times. Okay? So during fetal movement, 7 weeks is a passive unstimulated activity at more than 8 weeks, never absent for periods more than 13 minutes. Okay? But remember, as early as 7 and 8 weeks, pwede mo siyang makita sa ultrasound. But, iba ang mother's perception. Okay? Remember that, ha? Lahat talaga sila gagalaw. As early as 7 to 8 weeks, makikita nyo silang nag-move, no? But, maternal perception is different. You have to be able to differentiate that pagdating ng exam. Okay? So, for example, a stem of a question states, patient coming in with LMP off, o meaning ibig sabihin, pinapakompute na kayo, di ba? Or, in-state niya, yun na kayong pahirapan, came in 3 weeks amenorrhea, concerned that she is not feeling her baby. Okay, yung mga ganong linya. Okay? What is the best response? Diba? Dapat yon assurance. Okay? Kasi you don't expect a mother to feel the fetus as early as 3 weeks amenorrhea. What is 3 weeks amenorrhea? Wala pang 1 month yun, diba? 3 months. 3 months amenorrhea. Diba? That's only for 12 weeks, so you don't expect that. So you have to be able to know that. Okay, at around 20 to 30 weeks, there will be already an organized general body movements and rest activity cycles. And at around 36 weeks, established behavioral states in 80% of fetuses. What do you mean by that? Ibig sabihin at around 36 weeks, kung ano yung fetal attitude sa loob, yun na yun. Okay? Of course, during this first or the second trimester, malikot sila. That is because para pa silang nagsiswimming dahil maliliit pa sila. But around third trimester, nakaka-establish na sila, no, in a way that she is being accommodated sa maliit na cavity versus sa malaking bata. You get what I mean? So, hindi sila masyado. And most of all, when you talk about antepartum and intrapartum, the sleep cycle, no, hindi porke hindi mo na-detect yung fetal movement during NST or non-stress test, ibig sabihin, pangit na yung fetal well-being. Baka naman mamaya, na-catch mo siya ng tulog. That's why meron ka pang room to extend your observation. Okay? To accommodate the sleep cycle, which is between 20 to 70 minutes. Okay? So as you can see here, at 10 weeks and 4 days, nag-move na yung bata. You can really see it by ultrasound. Okay? Next would be this one, as you can see again, 30 weeks and 2 days by ultrasound. Face yung nakikita nyo, ha? Yun yung kamay mo. Okay? Now, what will be the 4 fetal behavioral states, no? In this slide, pwedeng recall type or remember type of question yan, no? So, state 1F is the quiescent state or quiet sleep with a narrow oscillatory bandwidth of the fetal heart rate, no? Why are we concerned of the oscillatory bandwidth, no? Kasi, mamaya, sa CTG tracing, makikita nyo yung variability. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun, yung peak and show, no, mamaya, later on, pag nakita nyo sa tracing. Yung parang sa ECG. Okay? Now, 2F will include frequent gross body movements, continuous eye movement, and wider oscillation of the fetal heart rate. No? So, this state is analogous to a rapid eye movement or active sleep in the neonate. State 3F includes continuous eye movements in the absence of body movement and no accelerations of the fetal heart rate. And state 4F is one of vigorous body movements with continuous eye movement and fetal heart rate accelerations. Okay, so this state corresponds to the awake state infant. So 2F is rapid eye movement or active sleep. 4F is the awake state of the infant. Okay, so please memorize that. Remember type of question lang yan. Mahirap i-analysis yan. Okay, so fetuses spends most of their time in states 1F and 2F. Another remember type of question. Okay, the sleep-awake cycle of infants are independent of the maternal sleep-awake state. Okay? Ano bang ibig sabihin nun? Hindi porke gising si mami, gising din si baby. It's not like that. Well, actually, most of the time, fetuses are active during the night. Okay, most of the time. Kaya when you advise, later on makikita nyo, on fetal movement counting, during the night ang best time for you to do fetal movement counting. Okay? Now, the mean duration of sleep cyclicity has been described about 60 minutes. Okay? Pero nakita nyo kanina, di ba, yung statement is 20 to 70 minutes. So, meron kang 20 minutes initially na observation sa mga tracings. Pag wala kang nakitang fetal movement, makatulog yan, you can extend for another 20 minutes. So, a total of 80 minutes. Okay? Now, the fetal movement is also determinant of amniotic fluid volume. That's why I'm telling you kanina, it's very important to look into the attitude of the fetus during the first and during the second trimester kasi he can freely swim pa versus on the third trimester na medyo constricted na. Pwede ring substance abuse, no? Smoking decreases fetal movement, or betamethasone use, or glucose load, which will increase movement. Okay? That's why also, kapag wala kayong nakitang fetal movement during tracing, baka rin gutom yung mommy. So those are the two physiologic things that you can consider. Either gutom or tulog si baby. Okay? So you can give actually a chocolate bar, Coke, no, matamis, ganyan. Now, what would be the significance of fetal movement in determining the fetal well-being? Okay, methods to quantify fetal movement would include your tocodynamometer and visualization as well as maternal perception. Okay? The rationality behind the fetal movement decreases with hypoxia. Okay? Meaning, kapag hindi nag-move ang bata, most likely hypoxic yan. Okay? So again, part of attendance. Part of the fetal movement counting, no, will include also yung pagturo. Okay, so like what I've said, when you teach your patients, preferably sa gabi, because that's where you expect na mas malikot sila. Okay? And dapat daily fetal movement count after 28 weeks age of gestation. No, minsan kasi ang description ng mga mommy is parang butike sa loob ng tiyan. Okay, which is very hard to distinguish with movement ng gastric bowels. For example, okay, baka mamaya akala nila fetal movement yun, yung pala, you know. But it doesn't also have to be yung nakikita mong nag-wave. No? Hindi naman kailangan gano'n. Okay, so the perception of fetal movement, 10 distinct movements in up to 2 hours is considered reassuring. Okay, so pwede rin tanongin sa exam yan. So how do you respond to your patient when it comes to daily fetal movement counting? So ibig sabihin, ng ganong type of question, what instructions are you going to give? Okay, so it should be perception of 10 distinct movements in up to 2 hours, no? To say that this is reassuring. Okay, so no fetal movement threshold or alarm limit below which fetal risk is increased. So walang sinabi na kailangan 8 or 6 or 7, no? Pero syempre, pag less than 10, medyo kailangan high alarm ka na, kumbaga. Parang red flag na siya. Okay? So, best predictor may still be the maternal sense that fetal activity is reduced and that any such report warrants further evaluation. Okay, so meaning do not disregard a patient telling you na, doktora, parang mabagal po siya ngayon. No? Hindi mo pwede sabihin, hindi tulog na mo. You should always be on alert kapag there is a decreased fetal movement as a subjective complaint. Okay, so in the absence of reassuring count, further fetal assessment is recommended. Okay, can you hear me from there? Kasi naiingayon na po sa monitor. Nalikot ako. Okay, so how do you instruct again? Count the baby's movement every night. A movement may be a kick, a swish or roll, or a hiccup. Okay. Hiccups and small flutters are not counted. Okay? And then start counting anytime in the evening when the baby is active, but count every night. Okay? They can count when they are lying down, preferably on their left side. Okay? And mark down the
the time you feel the baby move for the first time, and mark down the time you feel the babies on the 10th fetal movement. Okay, kasi dapat within 2 hours. Now, pwede mo rin sabihin sa patient, you can eat ng matamis, high glucose content, and then monitor. Okay, remember kasi kayo, di ba, kapag gutom, hypoglycemic kayo. So, ganun din yung mga fetuses. Okay? Again, every night, ha? Now, if wala or less than, you can advise them to call their healthcare provider immediately. Okay? Do not wait until tomorrow. Now, next that you have to look at, which hindi mararamdaman ng patient, is fetal breathing. Okay? So, as you can see here, humihinga. Movement ng abdomen ng titignan nyo. Okay? Yan yung abdomen. So, how do you know that this is the abdomen? Because matter. Okay? Fetal head kasi yan. Okay? So, yan yung abdomen. So, usually binigila. Okay, usually yan, paradoxical chest movement is due to coughing of clear amniotic fluid that release. So, there are 2 types of respiratory movement. You have the gasps or sighs, 1 to 4 per minute, and irregular burst of breathing. Now, kapag hindi mo nakita ang fetal breathing, no, it could be secondary to hypoxia, or pwede rin namang hypoglycemia. And it can also have an effect kapag nag-bell ka, no? Pwede siyang mag-move. So, pwede siyang huminga, makikita niyo yun. Or pwede rin impending preterm labor kapag wala kang makitang movement, amniocentesis, and active labor.
So these are the factors that may affect the fetal breathing. Fetal breathing is part of the biophysical score. No? That's why we are discussing it now. Okay, so this is our electronic fetal monitoring or the cardiotomogram. Okay, so yan yung itsura niya. Pag nakita nyo sa clerkship, no, ito yung fetal heart tones, ito yung contractions, ito yung test strip, parang sa ECG. Okay, again, ito yung ating CTG tracing, as you can see here. And ito yung mga attachments. Okay, you have to be able to differentiate pagdating nyo ng clerk kung ano yung nilalagay sa fundus at kung ano yung nilalagay sa fetal heart tones. Okay, so the rate is determined by our SA node. Okay, modulated by the CNS, by the brainstem, chemoreceptors, baroreceptors, and circulating catecholamines, no? So alam mo na during fetal monitoring, may problema yung bata kapag pangit because these are the factors that could affect your fetal heart rate. Okay? Now again, this is the fetal tracing. So the control of the fetal heart rate is by autonomic nervous system. So this is the tracing, the fetal heart tones, and this is the uterine contractions. Huwag kayong malilito. Okay? Lahat yan is very important. Even the boxes, mamaya i-discuss natin. Okay? These are the controls of the fetal heart rate. No? Sympathetic will increase the fetal heart rate. Parasympathetic will decrease the fetal heart rate. Okay? So again, this one, this is how ma-illustrate natin ng maganda. So, nade-detect siya. This one is for, anong presentation yan, class? Is that cephalic or is that bridge presentation? Just by looking at this picture. Cephalic, very good. Okay, kasi ayun yung cervix mo. Andito yung fundus. Okay, so this one is the fetal heart tones, no? Na probe. Tapos yung nasa taas will be the ultrasound probe or the contractions. Okay, just a patient. Siyempre, hindi yan dito. Amerikano yung patient. Okay, so when you say CTG sa antepartum, which means before labor, NST or CST, pag intrapartum, category 1, category 2, at category 3 ang interpretation. You have to be able to differentiate one from the other, ha? Again, antepartum before labor, intrapartum during labor. Okay, so this is the CTG tracing. Panel A is the fetal heart tracing. Okay? pwede kayong bigyan ng CTG tracing and interpret, ha? Pagdating ng exam. Now, that is an evaluate type of question, medyo higher order. So, you have to be able to differentiate kung ano yung tinitingnan nyo sa parts ng CTG tracing. So, again, panel A is the fetal heart rate. Kung mapapansin nyo, I hope nakikita nyo yan. 200, 180, 160. Okay, and then panel B is the fetal movement recorded by the mother. Okay, usually nandyan yan. Parang mga straight line lang, vertical lines. Okay, and then panel C will be the fetal movements recorded by the tocodynamometer, and the panel D will be the uterine contractions. Okay? 0, 20 Montevideo units yan. Okay? So you have to be able to know the parts of your CTG tracing para ma-interpret you properly. Okay, again, action tracing ko, fetal heart tones. May fetal movement ba? Meron or wala? Ha? Yes, doktora, meron or wala? Ha? Wala. Okay, ito yung sa fetal movement, detected by the mother. Okay, why am I emphasizing this panel? Kasi, madi-differentiate nyo ang NST, ang CST, or ang baseline CTG, meaning interpartum assessment, by fetal movement. Kasi NST or non-stress test requires fetal movement. Hindi mo mai-interpret ang NST without fetal movement. Okay, which is usually at this area, panel B. Okay, again, this is the uterine contractions. Now, what will be the components of the fetal heart rate? No, there are two basic patterns when we talk about fetal heart rate. Variability, okay, and fetal heart rate mismo. Okay, and it could be either an accelerations or decelerations. Pag merong decelerations, mamaya i-identify natin or i-define natin what is deceleration, no? Pag may deceleration, most likely pathologic yan. Okay? Pero accelerations is a statement of a good fetal well-being. Okay? Pero, may specifics yan. Okay? The baseline fetal heart rate is the mean heart rate for at least 2 minutes during a 10-minute segment crowded to increments of 5 beats per minute. Okay? By eyeballing, pwede nyong makita kung ano ang baseline fetal heart rate. Ano bang ibig sabihin nun? Meaning kung saan mostly nagpo-fall yung fetal heart rate. Again, these are the fetal heart rates. So, 30, 60, 90. So, ito, saan siya mostly nagpo-fall? 120, dito, nagpo-fall, sorry. When you draw a straight line, sa 130 siya usually nagpo-fall. So, by eyeballing, alam mo na. Ayan, the 130s. Diba? Yung makaka-form ka ng straight line. Okay? So, yan yung baseline fetal heart rate. How will you know this is a 10 segment? Yung mga boxes na yan, no? It's very important. Per big box is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Itong darkened na line. So, meaning yung maliliit na yan is 1 minute. Okay? So, this one is 130 beats per minute. So, a normal fetal heart rate is between 110 to 160s. But during the first trimester, especially at the stage of organogenesis, pwede kang makakita ng heartbeat na 180, which is acceptable. Okay? Because that's the most crucial time wherein blood flow is necessary, mabilis kay baby. Kaya mataas sila usually. Okay? Next would be baseline variability. Okay, when you say variability, these are fluctuations in the baseline fetal heart rate. Okay, again, it's very important that you'll be able to establish the baseline. Okay? Kasi pagdating na sa variability, fluctuations na ang titingnan mo. It is the highest peak and the lowest choke. Highest peak and the lowest choke. Okay? So, dapat alam mo kung ano yung baseline fetal heart rate. So, like this one. So, per box, heartbeat yan. Okay? Kasi kapag mamaya, pag minimal variability, average, dapat you'll be able to differentiate. Again, highest peak to the lowest throw. Kung saan siya magpo-fall, babagsak. Mamaya, mag-practice tayo. Okay, so when you say baseline variability, it's the fluctuations in the baseline fetal heart rate. So you have to be able to identify whether it's absent, minimal, meaning less than or equal to 5 beats per minute. Pag moderate, which is the normal, meaning it's 6 to 25 beats per minute. And kapag marked, it is more than 25 beats per minute. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so absent is undetectable. As you can see, by eyeballing pa lang, parang straight line. Okay, an absent is an indication to deliver. Okay, indication to deliver na yan. Huwag mo nang antayin. Okay, less than 5 beats per minute. Pagka minimal. So, kita niyo yung difference. Huwag niyo pansinin to, deceleration yan. Pero tingnan niyo to. Di ba? Pagka nakita niyo meron kahit papaano as compared here, na straight line. Okay? Less than 5 eh. So, titingnan niyo yung boxes. Don't worry, maganda yung printing. I'll make sure of that. Pag moderate is 6 to 25 beats. So, kitang-kita niyo naman, di ba yung difference of, ayan o. Per box is 1. 120, 25, 30, 35, 40. 5 beats yung isang box. And this one is marked. Diba ang gulo? Siguro naman pag binigyan kayo ng ganyan, alam niyo na, diba? Okay? So it's very important kasi pwedeng analysis type or evaluate type of question yan. Okay, for example, patient came in with chronic hypertension, complained of decreased fetal movement. On NST, bigla kang pinakataan ng ganyan. Okay? Sabihin sa'yo, interpret. Okay? Or, kung gusto niyang more of higher order thinking skills, create yon. What's the next best step? Okay? Eh pagka ang nakita nyo is ganyan, balik natin. Pag nakita nyo, pag ganyang dalawa, no, yung tracing na yan, tas may choice ng send your patient home and reassure and send your patient home. B, admit. C, repeat NST. What's the next best step? What's the next best step? Siyempre, tatanggalin nyo na yun. Send your patient home kasi ganyan na yung nakita nyo eh, di ba? Admit ba ang next best step? Pwede kang repeat NST. Kasi hindi mo pa rin naman pauwiin yung pasyente. Nasa iyo pa rin, kita mo pa rin, no? Kasi ang step is next best step. Pag sinabing what's the best management, well, ako ang sagot ko doon is admit. Okay, see the difference? Same stem, pinalitan lang ng next best and best. Okay? Next best is immediately. Anong gagawin mo immediately? Pag may nga nakalagay na next. Okay? Gets nyo yung difference sa testmanship. Testmanship. Okay? So again, pwede kayong bigyan ng tracing. You have to be able to interpret first before you can do the next best step. Okay, so what would be the significance of a normal fetal heart rate variability? Excellent indicator of a good fetal well-being. Okay? So, next would be a sinusoidal fetal heart rate pattern. A specific fetal heart rate pattern that is defined as having visually apparent smooth sine wave-like undulating pattern in fetal heart rate baseline with a cycle frequency of 3 to 5 minutes that persists for more than 20 minutes. Like this one. Okay? Yan ang normal. Pagka sinusoidal, ganyan siya. Ang itsura. Okay? So that is a bad tracing already. Kapag ganyan ang itsura. Okay? Pag nakita niyo yan. Next, let's talk about the acceleration and deceleration. We talked about variability, di ba? Dalawang components eh. The fetal heart rate and the variability. Let's talk about accelerations. Again, listen ha, very important ito ha. An abrupt increase in the fetal heart rate from the baseline, no? 32 weeks and beyond, 15 beats from the baseline, lasting for 15 seconds, is considered as with acceleration. Before 32 weeks, 10 beats from the baseline lasting ng 10 seconds is an acceptable acceleration. So meaning, you have to look at the stem of the question, tingnan nyo yung AOG, huwag kayong atat sumagot, baka mamaya, 15 beats, ay ito yun, memorize ko yun, 15 beats, 15 seconds, hindi nyo tinignan yung heartbeat. Ay, yung heartbeat, yung age of gestation. Yung pala nakalagay doon, 25 weeks. So what's the expected acceleration ng tanong? Okay, you get it? So, dalawang memorizing nyo. After 32 weeks, 15-15. Before 32 weeks, 10-10. Okay? 15 beats per minute, lasting for 15 seconds, and 10 beats per minute, lasting for 10 seconds. Okay, so this one is an acceleration. Makikita nyo ba ang baseline fetal heart rate dyan? Kita, di ba? 130 story. As you can see. Pero parang ay sorry, 140s pala, hindi 130s. Okay? So, 140s, remember 5, 10, 15, 20. So, may acceleration siya kasi ito, 20 beats na yan from the baseline. Diba? Or 10 beats na yan from the baseline. So, ang ipofocus nyo is, sorry, ang galaw ng kamay ko. Nagkape. Yan o, yung pagtaas from the baseline. This one kasi is 5 na yan eh. 5 beats na yan. Ito, may acceleration. Taas niyan from baseline and up. From 140s to